Hey, and welcome to Matt and Jess TV. I am Matt
And I'm
Roast.
Jessica Bun Bun.
This is our Survivor 49 Episode 6 reaction and review. Let's just start by leveling with everyone out there. The moment that Probst comes out and he is saying at the start of this episode, we are switching tribes, drop your buffs, and we have 3 tribes of 4 this late in the game. I was just thinking, oh my God, this is going to suck. I'm going to hate this episode and I'm going to be on here complaining for an inordinate amount of time.
But
I liked it. Okay, here's the
I'm
thing.
so irritated. I was so irritated.
I hated it when it happened, but they won me back over. This is the real moral of the story this episode. If you set your expectations low, you can be pleasantly surprised. I also mean this in the context of one player who we will talk about a little bit later in this video as well.
Okay, I was irritated and I was irritated the whole way through.
Okay.
I think it's mostly, well, one, I don't like 3 tribes, but two, I mean, 3 tribes of 4 and the way that it fell, it felt like the alliances all sort of ended up moving where they needed to move anyways. Like it didn't really break anything up. Just merge.
We are at that time, and merge episodes, as long as it's not some weird, like, half and half of you are safe nonsense, merge episodes can be really, really fun. So that part of it was a letdown. I will say Tribal Council was more exciting and surprising than I anticipated. Maybe I would be a little bit more bummed out if I actually liked Shannon and I was rooting for her to stay for a long time in the game.
I was legitimately surprised. You know, Juan has been down for his tribe since the beginning. For him, it doesn't matter where in the ranks he is on the tribe. He's just like the tribe, the tribe, the tribe. And, you know, if we go against the tribe, even if we're not all together, whatever, we're the people that go against the tribe. That might be a problem. Like, I was absolutely floored that he actually flipped.
From a strategic angle alone, there's a lot to talk through from this episode. We're going to try to piece together the thinking for a lot of individual players. We also, breaking news, a new Survivor Gate has entered the chat, everyone.
Who wants a hug? We're gonna have to talk about this because it was so uncomfortable for no reason. Sage, you gave her so many hugs through this entire process. For it to get to that point, it is just petty to be petty. And normally I am a girl who really likes petty. But this was so weird because it was like, you're fine to hug for game and it's all game and it's all fine with the game. And then when it comes to finally getting her out, it's like, no, I'll give you a hug when I really am feeling the hug. Girl, you gave her like 100 fake hugs already. Just hug her.
We have a lot more to say about Huggate. Before we do, be sure to hit that subscribe button because we are going to be here with all things Survivor 49. But beyond just that, we are so close to 90,000 subscribers here at the channel. Our minds are blown. We are eternally grateful to everyone who has joined us over the years.
Yeah, it's really shocking and surprising for us that we have gotten to this point. We're so grateful for it. So yes, please hit that subscribe button, help us get to this huge milestone. And you know, we're just so thankful. Thank you so much, everyone who's made this happen.
Yeah, thank you. We really, really appreciate that.
Okay, how are you feeling about Huggate? Because I feel like legit, it was just petty to be petty. She should have just given the hug.
I would have given the hug. If I'm going to speak for it, just from I'm going to put myself in Sage's shoes here for a moment. Part of it is for me, I am a people pleaser, even to my own detriment, where I always want to try to make everybody happy.
You're a proud
I am a very proud people pleaser. And I think it's just the situation where, regardless of whether or not I liked Shannon or not in the game, I would have just been thinking, okay, she's leaving. She's already getting the potential embarrassment of being blindsided. I would just do it. But beyond that, let's talk through the game component of it for a moment here, because my personal view, everything is game that is being recorded and could potentially go on television, including when you're leaving, what you say to these people. Like, you could alter the game with what you do on the way out. And kind of by extension of that, if you're Sage, you deciding to hug or not hug Shannon the other people that are there could form an impression of you based on that. Whether it is a Steven, somebody you really have not known for that
Mhm.
long a period of time because of this tribe swap, or a Jawan, what are they going to think about you not wanting to give this hug? They might understand there might be some beef between the two of them that didn't air, that there's more to the story. Like, I recognize
Yes.
all of that,
Yep.
but they may also be like, that's interesting. Like, that's very surprising that she would do that. Does this mean that if we blindside her or do something to her later, she's going to take it personally? It's anything can cause you to be paranoid out there.
Absolutely. I think game wise, it wasn't a great move. You're taking a huge risk. I mean, by saying that to Sage or to Shannon and making her maybe feel more embarrassed than she already does, she handled it very well and was like, okay, no problem. Peace, guys. I hope everything goes well. She could have very easily walked out that door and been like, Sage this, she knows this, she did
Yeah.
this, spewed a whole bunch of lies to just sink her game right then and there over a hug. Like, and you fake hugged her so many times, you might as well have just given the hug, so send her out the door feeling okay and dealt with your beef privately later.
Number one, I really wish more people would just yell out lies as they're leaving the game. That would
Why
be
not?
so exciting.
Big brother style.
Yes, if I was ever playing Survivor, which I would never do, I would make up all sorts of terrible stuff. I would say this person has 3 immunity idols. I would toss everybody under the bus.
That's right. Sage is burning all the shoes.
Okay. The weirdest thing about all of this is that I was always pro Sage in the Sage Shannon rivalry, especially after this last episode where I really, really liked her. And from a game standpoint, leading up to Tribal Council, like, Huggate aside,
Mhm.
I really like what she did because she realized in this episode, all right, Shannon is clearly not with me. She's
Yeah.
being really fake now, all of a sudden. Now that she needs me, I think she's probably cognizant of the idea that Shannon was close to Savannah, Rizzo, all these people in the original Uli
Mhm.
tribe. So it's really not in my best interest to cast my lot with them long term. What can I do with some of these other numbers that I have lying around here?
Well, that's the thing. I mean, it was time for her to get Shannon out. Like,
Yes.
yeah, you want to have the tribe together still, and she still has a lot of people from the original tribe, but you can't trust Shannon, and none of them can. So once the merge happens, and, depending on how many are still there, if Shannon is still one of those people, she's a problem. She could very easily start picking off people off that tribe that she didn't want. And I understand why Sage was feeling a bit personal about it, where, Shan's kind of like, oh, I'm sure you understand. We were in a different situation, last time. And, now we're here and now we can be working together again. I totally get why Sage is just like, girl, no, I am not interested in it. I will give you the pretend hug and we will move forward because we're still playing the game. But they are still playing the game when they're leaving as well. People are listening.
There's just such a back and forth of patronization in this episode. You have Shannon patronizing Sage all
I
over the camp,
know.
and then you have Sage patronizing Shannon on her way out the door. It kind of goes both ways here, but I want to hand
Great TV moment, though. Oh
really,
my
really.
God,
I will always
I love
appreciate
beef.
the beef is great, and we'll talk about the Queen of Beef, Savannah, a little bit later on here. But just the MVP of this episode to me, strategically, is Steven, because I think we just all sit back
Yeah.
here for a moment. He goes into a tribe swap with 3 people who were all there on the same original tribe.
I know.
They know that there's this narrative of the original Uli versus the original Hina. They've already
Yep.
gotten rid of a couple of Hina. It would have been so easy to get rid of Steven. Every single thing socially, strategically he did in this episode, I loved it. I thought he
Mhm.
was so unbelievably smart.
Very smart. It was really all going to come down to Jawan. Like, was
Yeah.
he going to be able to bond with him or break his way in there in any kind of way? And I mean, Stephen put in work with Jawan, and it did feel very natural, where it was just like, you know what? I have been wanting to meet him. Yeah, of course, this is an alliance that would work out for me, and this partnership would work out for me. But at the same time, this is someone that I think I can really vibe with. We're very, very similar and feel like they've said, we're cut from the same cloth. cloth. It feels like, we're one and the same. And listening to them, they are one. They feel like they're going to be like forever friends. They're going to be trading bracelets. They're there for the long haul. But listening to Juwan afterwards, where he's like, yeah, you know what? I do really like him, but I'm still with the tribe, because if we remember and go back in time, beep, bop, 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 boop, he
Oh.
was also getting close to Jason, and they had a lot of their back and forth and fun and talk and nerdiness and all of that, and it went nowhere.
I found the irony of this whole "Do you like Marvel Comics" discussion to be so hilarious, given that you have Marvel executive mate
I
on
know.
one of the other tribes. But no, what we have seen from Jawan so far this season is that
Mhm.
he would separate his personal feelings for someone
Yeah,
from the game decision. So that
yeah.
does pose this really big question of, okay, what actually caused Jawan to want to flip? Because I don't think we ever fully got that in this episode.
No, I mean, even later when he was hearing all this information
Yeah.
about Shannon, oh, Shannon's throwing your name out there, and these are the specific things that she's saying, so that he really understood this is for real. This isn't just I'm throwing her under the bus. She is throwing you under the bus. She is talking your name. This is going to end up being a problem for you down the road. And he did have, a talk with us, a confessional talk
Yeah.
with everybody, where he was basically like, yeah, this is going to be a problem. And I know that it's going to be a problem. And I'm going to have to look out for this problem. But is this the time to take care of this problem? Or is it better to keep as many of our tribe members together as possible and deal with her later? And obviously, he ended up coming around to the decision that nope, she is an actual problem.
Yeah.
And she is. And he needs to get rid of her now.
I think this was the right choice for Jawan to do it.
I agree.
We know more information, obviously, than him, but we know that in Savannah's mind, he is pretty high up there on the list of people she wants out of the
Yeah.
game. And it also feels like Savannah has a lot of sway with Sophie with an I, Rizzo, Nate. So they
Yeah.
were probably going to try to get rid of Jawan sooner rather than later. The best thing for Jawan right now, side with Steven, try to get him, Sage, maybe a couple of members of the original Hina. Keep these people together, and maybe they will start to turn on each other a little bit.
Mhm.
And at the very least, you might be guaranteeing yourself a slightly higher position than just coasting with the Savannah Alliance. Because even if you coasted with the Savannah Alliance, best case scenario, you get fifth or sixth place. And if you get to the end, you're not going to have any moves to speak of.
No, and that's why for me, Juwan has really gone up in the ranks for me, because he is able, unlike Jason, who was just like, oh, I'm for the tribe forever.
Yeah.
He is playing the numbers in a sense like, okay, we have this many numbers. We're in a really big, position of power. Can we lose Shannon? If we do, are we still in power? He's really able to separate those social relationships from what's best for his game. And a lot of people can't do that. This is a very hard game to do that with.
Yes.
You are with these people all the time, and you are building these strong connections and bonds with people in a way that, you wouldn't elsewhere. So to be building bonds with a Jason or with a Steven, and then
Yeah.
to be able to be like, okay, you know what? I need to separate it. What's actually best for my game? He's dangerous in this game. He could go all the way.
He is very, very smart, and I like Jawan personally
Yes.
a lot. He feels like one of the people on
Yes.
this season I could, based on his conversation with Steven, I feel like I could carry a conversation with Jawan.
Samesies.
This tribe, it's going to be interesting to see how they navigate things. Let's jump over to the new Hina tribe here, where you alluded to this earlier. It's not that different than the previous group here. We have Sophie, Rizzo, and Savannah with MC.
Yeah, MC. Oh my girl, she's in trouble, and I'm so worried about it because I like her so much. It's so weird because this is the tribe of people that I like everybody on this tribe. When I saw this tribe get picked, I was like, oh, they're never going to travel all the way to the merge. There is no way. This tribe is stacked.
It's stacked. It's interesting. It's full of characters. Let's start with the Queen of Beef here, Savannah, who she has been extremely petty about Jawan for weeks. She had a new target this week, and hearing about the winner chicken dinner and watching her eyes roll. You have no poker face whatsoever, Savannah.
Hey, it looked like there was a couple people that were like rolling their faces or pissed off or even shocked by it as well.
I like watching people be pissed off on Survivor. This is probably why I like Savannah. She's the most openly salty person that we have at this point. I want to watch people get visibly annoyed and not act like this is summer camp and try to actually turn these beefs into strategic game moves. Savannah, I hope you stick around for a long time by virtue of this alone.
Yeah.
All right, here is where I have to admit something, and I'm a little bit embarrassed to admit this. I'm kind of coming around on Rizzo. I'm not saying that I love him yet. I'm going from being irritated with him to being okay with him.
I was never irritated with him. Like, I don't love his whole catchphrase things, but I understand why he's doing it. We talked about this at the beginning of all of this, that having a catchphrase and being on reality TV is something that, you know, Harry Jowsey talked about from Too Hot to Handle, of something that his agent had told him. And it is something that I think a lot of people going on reality TV understand, that having a catchphrase that can really boost you up for after the show, makes you very memorable. Yeah, I'm still here with this catchphrase and I'm like, boy, your catchphrase, it is too long. Like, you need to shorten it up a bit so it's catchy and more punchy. But in general, he just seems like he's a good guy.
Here's the comparison that I'm going to make. And Rizzo, you probably aren't going to like this, but I'm going to do it anyway. Rizzo is Coach from Coach's first season of Survivor, where for the first half of the season, I'm just sitting back being irritated. Who is this goofball? Why is he doing this shtick? It's obviously a character, but then Coach wore me down. By the time he is calling himself the Dragon Slayer and wandering around the desert with a stick, I am all in. Rizzo, I now understand you're in on the joke. The moment that you put on the snorkeling gear after you fell in the ocean and you did your catchphrase, I was sitting back and thinking, okay, you know that this is dumb. You're doing it anyway.
Sure.
It's one of those things where you hear the same joke so many times and the joke was bad, but just ironically, you come around to liking it by the end.
Absolutely. I have jokes like that. I have TikToks I've watched 100 times where it just started to get funnier and funnier as I watched it. And it was not funny the first time. But with him, yes, it feels like he knows he's in on the joke. He knows that it's ridiculous, and it is ridiculous, but it's working.
It is working. I'm starting to get in on the bit. I just think I would also fall in the ocean, so I do have a little bit of relatability there.
Absolutely. No way.
Okay, now we move on to Sophie. Sophie with an I, who in this episode finds the knowledge is power advantage.
Your favorite.
Okay, Jess is alluding to the fact that for many seasons, I have sat here and I have said, I hate this with every fabric of my being.
Yeah.
It sucks. It is the worst advantage because it really makes people not want to tell other people that they have an immunity idol, which they shouldn't anyway. But for drama, we want to see this. The only way this advantage turns out to be good TV is if someone uses it correctly.
That's the thing about it, is like, it does make it then that people are more hesitant to be telling people about the advantages that they have or idols that they have. And that kind of sucks, because I like when people are using it for strategy to be able to build trust, build bonds, and see people, turn on people with that, flush it out. Like, it's all really fun. And the minute that you have that in there, of course it makes people a little more wary to be like, maybe I'm not going to say anything to anybody.
The good news for MC is that it seems like her secret for now has not been told to anyone on this new tribe. She did a good job of pretending when it comes to the original Beware advantage on the Hina tribe, to Rizzo, to everyone else. Now,
and good for her. She should. This is not the time for this. She is in a bad spot.
She's in a really bad spot.
Yeah, but luckily, like I said, this tribe is really stacked. They just need to keep winning till they get to the merge, and then great.
Yeah, I think she will be okay for now.
I hope so.
I worry about her long term just because I feel like Sophie with an I is a pretty smart person, and there could be a situation where even if she doesn't know, she might just take a guess at some point thinking, okay, maybe she has this. And if she does, I'm really going to get it. And that's going to be a huge advantage to my side of the game moving forward.
Absolutely. Hopefully, it's just not going to have to work out like that because I really like both of these women.
I know, and I think that's amplifying my hatred for this advantage. The idea that could hurt somebody like MC, even if I do
Yeah.
like Sophie with an I.
Yes.
All right, Sophie with an IE. You actually ate one little thing in this episode after getting almost no screen time.
Yes.
The I can be your Sophie confessional was kind of hilarious.
It was hilarious.
I still have no idea where she stands in the game. It is really,
Yes.
it's so bizarre to think that there are people at this point who still have never been to tribal council.
I know. Like hearing that, I'm just like, oh my God. Man, the original Blue Tribe just, man, they really got run over.
They really, really did. And, you know, Sophie with an IE, she hasn't experienced this yet. She's on this new Uli tribe with Nate, Christina,
Yep.
Alex. Let's just first and foremost, though, show of hands. Who thought that we were going to see Christina be evacuated in this episode?
No. Oh,
Oh,
really?
really? I was worried.
Oh, really?
Okay, here's why I was
No.
worried.
I thought she was just mostly having like a heat panic attack,
I was very,
which is horrible. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, just absolutely awful. Like, full disclosure, I have anxiety, so panic attacks and stuff like that, that happens to me, and it happens to me often enough. So when I saw it happening, I was like, oh my goodness, it feels like that's what she's going through. Throw the heat on top of it, it gets even worse. But no, I didn't think she was going to get pulled out for that.
Here's why I was worried. It's just because they spent all that time hyping up the snake incident, and they have
Yes.
spent weeks with Probst being like, it is the hottest season, and going on
know.
and on. And typically, when the editors do this, it's for a very specific reason. And that reason was clearly just to show that someone's really going through it. But I was just very, very terrified, especially because Christina's come across as really likable, but they haven't really spent a lot of time with her. So she is, in that way, a personality on air that we could theoretically lose. But I'm very glad that we didn't.
Yeah, and I mean, here's the thing too, Jeff.
Oh boy,
If-
here we go.
If it's really this hot out
Yeah.
there, then maybe change a little bit of the rules for this particular season. If it's the hottest it's ever been, people passing out, Jeff's almost passing out. Okay, then maybe stop having people, doing these challenges to try to get their flint to be able to cook and eat and whatever. If they're already dealing with the heat and people are going to be passing out, don't have them passing out for heat and for starvation and dehydration and all these other lack of sleep, all of it. They're already going to be having a bad sleep. They have to sleep on the ground or on bamboo. That's not a good time.
No.
They're already out, and you're saying that's the hottest season ever. That's already going to be a huge problem. Just give them their flint so they can cook.
The Flint thing is so stupid. I hate
It's so stupid.
it's already hard out there for them. And we're not trying to get into the preachy mode of this past episode of the show, but it's just, we all know it's really hard. The Flint, it doesn't do anything. It's sort of like Big Brother when you make people have nots, and there's really nothing that's that entertaining about have nots anymore,
No.
other than Vince saying, I'm malnourished, as though this is going to ruin his game. I miss Vince. I'm going through withdrawals.
Vince ruined his own game other ways. It was not because you didn't eat, Vince.
No, but I just really feel like this show would be better served going ahead and getting rid of that. There are a lot of other ways that they can evolve it.
Yeah.
I will say the response to Jeff being a little bit winded with Rizzo saying welcome to Survivor at him.
That was the winning moment for me with Rizzo. And I already liked Rizzo enough. I wasn't like he's my favorite player or
Yeah.
anything like that. But that moment was great.
I will always give a gold star to anyone who openly trolls Jeff Probst to his
Yes.
face. So finally, from this swap tribe, I'm very happy that my guy Nate, who I'm really liking and rooting for, that he is okay for now. This is not a good tribe for him to be on in the slightest, but he didn't go to tribal council, so there's that.
No, but at the same time, I mean, I understand why he told that lie
Yeah.
about Jason and wanting to work with him and trying to keep him around, on. But it wasn't believable. Like, I didn't understand the lie either. So when I was hearing it, I was just like, I don't know. And then the next cut is Alex being like, I don't know. I'm like, oh, okay, great. Because it wasn't just me, because I know already
Yeah.
that it's a lie and I'm seeing it as a lie. It felt like a lie when he was just like, Well, then how is he like existing in this game? Like,
Yeah.
who is he working with? If this is what's really happening, none of this is threading together.
I give him an A for effort and an F for execution, where it's just, I appreciate you trying to do something because I understand going in there and being like, I have a really close Uli alliance. That's not great either, but you
Mhm.
probably could have met in the middle somewhere here and sort of explained that, all right, our Uli tribe is fractured, but we just felt like at that point we weren't vibing with the Hina people on our tribe swap, and we just felt like we were better served to get rid of them.
Or go about it the way that Steven went about it, which is, hey man, I've been wanting to like be with you and work with you and hang around you and get to know you since I saw you on the beach. I feel like we are really gonna vibe. Hey, how do you feel about Marvel? And that's where you need to kind of go with it. See if there is somebody that you might be able to kind of get in with. Like, I understand that there's already something together here, but you can get in another way. Steven did.
I'm really excited now for where the rest of the season is going. I know it has been a very bumpy ride. The past 2 episodes have been pretty good, and we're in a spot now where people, whether it is Alex, who I think we both like, somebody
Yeah, I do
like
like Alex.
Jawan, there are a lot
I
of
really like Juwan.
there are a lot of Fulcrum players now after this episode where it doesn't just feel like this group of Rizzo, Savannah, and Sophie with an eye. Like, they may still do really, really well, but it feels a lot more uncertain. A couple of episodes ago, I kind of felt like they had a really good chance of just dominating, but now Jawan has made a choice.
Yeah, Juwan has made a choice. Watching Steven work that whole situation the way that he did, he's really rising up in the ranks for me. It's finally we are starting to see some other people, and maybe it's because we have 3 tribes of 4. Maybe. I still don't like it, but I did
No.
like this episode.
And that is where we are with Survivor 49, episode 6. Now, let us know in the comments. Do you guys feel like getting rid of Shannon was the right decision? Be sure to let us know and hit that subscribe button. Thank you guys so much for your support as we near 90,000. Like, it means
Yeah.
so much to us. And we will see you here next time.